So, Avante, back to the permit issue. We still have to pay that permit. And then, right?
And you still have to pay me.
Yes. So I'll have to talk to you about this. I told them they don't want you to do the whole big supervision of all the permits.
Not now, because we want that to be one
I'll
big thing.
just pay you to meet there on site with them for the inspector to show up on that day and deal with the electrical panel. And Robert's going to be there with the inspector as well. And Henry, they can chat with the inspector as well. That's the way they want to proceed.
And so the permit cannot be an owner permit.
They don't want to take you on a retainer because they want to see if they can not yet. They might in the future if they get the money from one of these vendors, but we haven't been able to get the money at the moment. So we're just trying to start the process, right?
But this is the problem. When I go to the city of LA and say, hey, I'm the contractor on this project, it doesn't matter if you pay me or not. I'm responsible. If we don't ever talk again, I'm responsible. So I'm not getting in that relationship unless I'm compensated. It's just not going to happen because they're not going to say, well, Mr. Seaton, Henry and them are nice guys, and I'm on the hook. I mean, maybe that's not clear, but as soon as I process that permit, I am liable for your property. If it falls off the hill 100 years from now, I will be the contractor on record that did that project. So yes, I get it. I understand you want to save money, but you gotta pay the bear first. I mean, I don't want to be involved. I can't be involved. It's not a want or not. I mean, I have to be compensated for being involved. If my name is not on it, then yeah, we can come and we can have meetings all day long. But as soon as I sign my name to that permit, I am your responsible contractor. And if anything goes wrong in that project, until the next contractor comes in, God knows when, I'm the responsible party. Whether you pay me, whether we agree to be paid, whether we do anything like that. So I have to be compensated. There's no way around it.
Yeah, but you're responsible for the work you do. You're not responsible for everything carte blanche in the property.
If I pull the permit, I'm responsible for everything that my name is on with that permit. So if I'm pulling a building permit, that means you can hire guys from Home Depot to come work, and I'm the responsible party. That's how it works. So as a contractor, when I pull that permit, what I'm saying is I'm taking responsibility for this job. So if you go and do something else and you hire some other people, then I come in and I take my name off the permit. So if I put my name on the permit, I'm responsible for that job. And it's not just right now. So hypothetically, let's say we go into this and then 5 years from now you sell the property. You're a great guy. You know Avante didn't do that work. You know the Seaton business didn't have anything to do with it. You sell the property. 10 years from now, the owner of the property looks because the kitchen fell apart. They look and they say, who was the contractor that did this? I'm still under my 15-year obligation by the state. And they can sue me for whatever happened because I was the contractor that was on it. I said, well, Henry didn't pay me nothing. Well, you're the contractor on this permit. You're responsible. So I'm responsible. I don't get to negate my responsibility. As soon as I sign my name on that permit, and I've already started that process, and as soon as I give them a financial payment, I am the contractor on that whole project. I can't say, well, I'm only doing this part. It doesn't work like that.
I don't understand do you think that we're gonna use other people under your license? We're not doing that. Is that what you're worried about? I mean, what is it? What is your point? I don't understand. Are you asking something, Nevis, or what? I'm not sure.
No, I'm not worried about anything. I just wanted you to understand the relationship. So the relationship is when I sign on there on your behalf, the state of California doesn't care what our agreement is. I'm responsible. That's the bottom line. So when I say, here, give me this permit, I'm Avante Seaton, this is my license number, this is my workers' comp, this is my insurance information, yada, 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 I'm the responsible party. So now, if you guys go and do the work yourself,
that's not going to happen.
Responsible. Well,
I know you're not saying that we're going to do that. I'm saying that, but is that the point that you're making? Is that that's not what we're going to do? But we understand that that is you are making yourself, potentially exposing yourself. But we're saying that's not our intent. So, are we just clarifying that for each other, or so? I'm not sure what are you asking something from us?
We're just clarifying.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I understand.
That's clarifying.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm with you 100%,
Yeah.
but we've got to compensate me. I mean, that's first and foremost.
Well, I mean, you're being paid for the work that you do. That's your compensation?
And part of my work is pulling the permit, and my fee for pulling the permit is $5,000. I shouldn't even do that. I'm just kind of going out on a limb and just being nice because of my relationship with Dominique. I be honest with you, it's really unethical for me to even do that. But I'm doing it because of my relationship with Dominique. But I really shouldn't do it. It doesn't make any sense for me. You can go call them and say, hey, I want to do a owner builder. I don't know that they will, but it doesn't benefit me any. It just puts me in a liability scenario. It doesn't help me at all. And I'll give you another scenario. Let's just say you got some guys up there looking around. Somebody doing some hammering on the wall. They fall. My worker comp gets charged because I'm the liable contractor on the job. It's just when I pull that permit, I'm the responsible guy, and I can't go be the responsible guy for free. That just
Right, but part of the fee that you were charging was to be meeting with the inspectors. That's what. It's not that
I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna have meetings with you
Robert
guys.
doesn't understand that you have to have a meeting with the inspectors.
And I'm gonna walk through the whole process. I'm gonna charge you if my guys work, and I'm gonna watch your guys if you hire somebody else. So we're gonna do the whole thing. We're in the whole dance. I mean, we've created a relationship, but my obligation to what I'm supposed to do doesn't change. I'm going to have to be responsible for your job. The moment you pay me, when I receive money for you that goes along with the agreement that we have, I am accountable for your job. And I'm accountable whatever the case is. So I got to make sure that everything is done the way it's supposed to be done.
I just don't understand. So you want to charge us $5,000 to complete the work that you're paid to have done already?
No, I want to charge you $15,000 to pull the permit, but I'm charging you $5,000 as a courtesy to Dominique. Maybe that's not getting clear, but you've got probably about $100,000 project, start to finish. Let's say from today to your end. When you're completely done, it's about maybe $100,000 process, right? Let's say you optimistically you get it down to 60. Well, I'm on the hook until that 60 is complete. So for me, and let's just look at the basic numbers. I mean, my cut would be $20,000, but I'm not even looking at that. That's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I'm going to pull the permit. I'm going to walk this process with you, and I'm just doing it at some number that I think is fair for you guys, which is well below what it's worth.
Well, and to be clear, what it sounds like, if I'm understanding correctly, Alvante, the $5,000 is really being applied towards the work you will be doing towards getting the compliance in place.
Right, yes, correct. The $5,000 will be me meeting with the inspectors, making sure that workers are not doing shoddy work, making sure that the inspector is happy, making sure that everything is getting signed off, being the general contractor on the project. That's what the $5,000 is for.
Okay.
And we're talking about 6 months, 6 months of work. So, I mean, you do the math.
So
yeah.
There is no work that we're proposing or that you're giving us a quote for other than just addressing the electrical issue right directly in that room where the electrical panel was and those outlets there.
Well, we don't know yet.
Right.
We
So
don't know yet.
how can we agree on paying for something that we don't have an itemized invoice for proposing the work? Because saying that he's going to do he's going to be there for the inspector and be there to make sure his guys do the work properly, and that's basically what the guys did when they were doing the work that they've been paid for. They supposed to have been done to code. It was supposed to have a permit, and they were supposed to have not done anything wrong. So we're paying again $5,000 or whatever for what we already paid for.
What guys are you referring to?
The electrical. Did you not? Were you not the contractor for the electrical?
The electrical panel that was moved, I've already done that. That's already done. I don't need to make sure that they do that right. It's done. There's nothing to check. So what we can do, if you're more comfortable, okay, you can get a different contractor, and then they can inspect my work. The inspector has nothing to do with inspect it, and if it's not right, then somebody can go in there and check it. The city will not issue a panel moving permit. They will not do that. There's no way we're going to just call them and say, hey, give me a panel. I've already talked to them. I've already tried. They're not going to give us a permit to move the panel. The panel is already moved. If, in fact, somebody comes in there and says this panel is not up to code, we won't sign off on it, I'll fix it. I'll stand behind my word. I'm going to do that anyway. But for me to move forward with you in this process, in this relationship, so the moving forward part is what we're discussing. And let me tell you, I'm flexible. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to strong arm you. I really think you guys are great people. I would rather not do it at all, to be honest with you. But I will do it because I understand that it's a lot that you've got to deal with, and I would rather be involved so I can help you. If that doesn't resonate and make sense, and you don't feel it in your heart that he's being genuine and sincere, I get it. Go hire somebody else, because it's a nightmare for me. But I got your back. I'm here, and I will help you. But I have to be compensated. It is a lot of work. I know let me just pull this wire. It's going to be a whole lot of stuff going into that. I will visit with the city probably about 20 times on your behalf between now and the end of this process. And I'm signed up for that. But that's just the situation.
Okay. There's a gap in reality where our reality is. You're discussing the project later. We don't know if we're doing the project later because we have to get the financing. So what we're trying to do right now and what we're asking of you is just to address the immediate electrical room right there where the panel was and anything that's hanging out of that room. That's it. Anything beyond that is not being discussed. That would be discussed later and paid for and budgeted later. We're just budgeting and paying for specifically getting that room electrical addressed. That's it.
So let's try this. Alvante, do you think they would just allow them to be owner and pull the permit rather than put it under your license? Then they would do owner builder, and the owner would be able to pay for this permit. So did they say it has to be a general contractor? Because most of the time it doesn't. They will allow you to.
I think and this is what I was saying initially. From what I remember in our conversation, she was making sure that I was a contractor because she was saying that you couldn't do owner builder because it had already been red flag. That was what I remember from the conversation. I think they discussed that.
Makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Totally.
And my blood's on the line. I'm not making up issue. I don't do that. My blood's on the line. I gotta help figure this process out, and I gotta be there to participate. And it's not a. But I mean, I'm open. I'm open to whatever you guys are comfortable with. I definitely want you to be happy.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. It's just a matter of we have to take it one step at a time, and we can't pay for something that we don't even know that we're going to have the funds to do. So we have to pay for immediately what is right in front of us, which is the electrical work in that one room. So we would hire you to address the electrical work in that one room and that one inspection for that inspector. Anything beyond that is another negotiation, another contract.
Oh, Okay, so Almonte, he's saying he doesn't want to pull the permit that you got.
No,
He just wants you to
I don't know if, that permit, I'm not sure what that permit is. I'm not sure if that permit, it can be replaced by something else. If the permit is the issue, I'm not sure. I don't understand why the permit, it can't mean that it doesn't expose him to everything that possibly could be done for the house. It's not a blanket permit. It's a permit to notice to comply, and the electrical and the staircase and the multiple function family and a single family is what's on that notice to comply. So his liability is limited to what's on that notice to comply, and we're just addressing that immediately, electrical right now, and the staircase right after that. But we're not going into the whole scope of every potential violation that they may or may not have fine later. I just don't see how we can pay for something that we don't know if it's going to happen. It just seems very strange.
Exactly, Robert. So I think we should try and go to the inspector and try and. Elvante doesn't want to be liable. You want to tear the scope down. Why don't we try and see if we can get an owner permit rather than a general contractor?
We can't get an owner. We can't do an owner permit because I don't think an owner can do electrical work. An owner can't do electrical work. I can't pull an owner permit and then hire subcontractors.
On a residential, they'll let you do it. I just remember from my conversation that because of what I was thinking was because of the code violations. Now, let me clarify a couple things. There is no issuing of an electrical permit. They're not going to issue any permit that does not reflect everything that was mentioned in the code violation, right? So if you just call them and say, hey, I need an electrical permit, no problem. But you have an existing issue, which is the code violation, and they made me pull a complete project permit. So my permit is not just for electrical. My permit is for your entire project back to its original state. So they wouldn't give me anything else. They weren't going to issue me a move the toilet permit. They were going to issue a complete building bring to compliance permit or nothing.
Okay, so maybe the answer is, because we're kind of going around in circles. I guess what it is, I understand you want to be compensated, but if you want to be compensated, we have to have a contract. So I guess you have to have your guys come out and do a walkthrough and you give us a bid on the whole project as a scope. That way we'll have, you'll be protected and we'll be protected because we will know what we're paying for. That's the answer.
Okay.
But whether or not we'll do the project, I can't say because we don't have the funding until we address this simple electrical issue, and the stairs hopefully potentially could get us to that point. But that seems like a lot of work to plan and to do it. But if that's what you need to be comfortable with, that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable paying for something that I wasn't clear what I'm paying for, so I can see your side where you don't want to do something that you're not being paid for. So we both have our viewpoints.
Right. I know initially he had offered that he had told Henry that he would accept $3,000.
Kids.
He paid $5,000. So, but I guess. I guess
the electrical work in that one room
for the city.
You need to become.
Did he do Winans?
Mm-hmm. Owner's permit, and you.
If something went wrong, here's this $500. I don't want to be involved. I mean,
it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Becomes what it is.
I'm throwing you a huge.
Gotten an understanding about that's relevant. Not that's.
I think we're just talking about,
In a scenario where I'm liable, that's the issue.
Or whatever and have nothing in return, saying
remove if you want to sewer line pipes, so he charged.
Despite what I said, like he was screaming, you've done everything else.
Walking halfway and then walking
Somebody else, or you could do it on your own. He's saying
the final call was about a 3 or 4 hour call. Robert, I don't want to
do anything wrong. There's no specifics about what a cost from you to finish. Okay, is there anything else that we should?
But the little $5,000, I'd rather. Yeah, and let me tell you, like I said, I gave you the example of electrical fire. You're getting service for
Inspections. Then we need.
so, but I guess we can walk the project. He can.
They were going to issue no issuing of an electrical.
Initially, he had offered that he had told Henry that he would accept a $3,000 payment initially, and that would be applied towards the $5,000. And that was originally. He never asked for the entire amount up front, but he said to pull the permit, start the work, meet with the inspector. He was not asking for the entirety up front. He was asking for a starting fee, and he would start the process. So he never even initially asked for, like, hey, right now I have to be paid $5,000. I'll start to do the work, meet with them, pull the permit, we'll see what the list comes, and that's what he was requiring. Just so you know, Robert, that he wasn't asking for the entirety up front back in the beginning, end of November, December. So, but I guess we can walk the project together, and if we can come up with an estimate of the work that needs to get done.
Okay, but that's what we did last time he came. That's not that. We did that already. We need an itemized statement, an itemized contract, a bid.
Well, no, you could just make it really simple because you just want to put it back to original condition. So you want to just the original.
Well, simple. He's not charging us a simple. Fee for his exposure. So we need a specific, contract for his fee.
For what though? But what do you want specifically itemized? I'm trying to understand. Do you want him to say, okay, let's fix the electrical hanging in the ceiling. Let's do this. So just that room complies. Then
right. If we're paying him if he's being paid because he doesn't want to be liable for the project that's not compliant, then we need to bring it to be compliant, and he's paid for that. That's what his fees reflect. The inspections that he's anticipating, we need to have those inspections. If we're paying him for 20 inspections, then we need to have the 20 inspections.
Okay. I guess normally though, when you hire a contractor, the contractor takes the fee. They take 15%, right, of whatever project you give them.
They take $500. They take $500.
Nobody works for $500, unfortunately.
They can only take $500 until they do the work. Then they get paid as they do the work. They don't get $5,000 retainer fees. I've never heard of that.
Hold on, Robert. Hold on. You're not a contractor, so we have to just.
It's okay. I'm loving it. I get you. I mean, I'm doing it wrong. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Monte's been a contractor since 2007.
Yeah, four.
Now, what we like may not be what is.
Yeah.
But we're not really here to dictate what will go on.
Yeah. I don't mind giving you guys an estimate. I'll give you an estimate, and then I can incorporate my estimate and incorporate my fee. That's fine. I give you an estimate, but I'm not gonna start my estimate. When you say, hey, I'm ready to start, my start is gonna be from the entirety of my estimate, and just based on what I know about your project, from what I've seen and what I'm looking at, 40, 50 grand. I mean, so yeah, let's do it. But I'm not gonna take $500 and then start working. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you can take $1,000 deposit if that's the case. That's what the law says. The $1,000 deposit. And that's if you're just going to hold their money and start the job in 6 months. But if I'm
I don't
starting
like
the
any of
project today, I can select whatever I need to start the project. And that will probably be somewhere around 20%. And the problem is they won't give me just an electrical. So if I can just pull an electrical, I can just give you an estimate for the electrical stuff. But there's no electrical permit. There's no plumbing permit. It's a complete bring the home compliance permit. So if you pull a permit a different way, and I know it's kind of hard, you're looking through from my side or whatever. I don't want to be in a scenario where I'm liable. That's the issue. If you can relinquish me of liability, then yeah, we don't have to talk about money at all. But if I'm gonna be liable, it's just that's how this works. I mean, that's how this thing goes.
I mean, I don't mind doing a disclaimer about your liability of the work you do, but I don't know if there's such a thing exists.
And let me tell you, like I said, I gave you the example of what the scary part of it is. When you sell the property, the new owner doesn't care about your disclaimer. All they care about is what's on the books. And if you go pull your building plans from that original building when that house was first built, it still has the contractor who built it on there. So what I'm saying is once I commit to your project, I'm on there until someone else comes on after me. And so I'm liable, regardless of whatever. And they're not going to say these guys didn't end up working together. And it's not going to say that. Oh, he gave them a letter of compliance. It's not going to say anything like that. I'm going to get a phone call in 10 years from somebody saying, hey, remember the job you did on Bethesda? Yeah, in Bethesda, something went wrong. It burned down because the electrical was done wrong, and your name is the contractor on the electrical. Like, well, what happened? Oh, we don't know. It's an electrical fire. You're getting sued for $100 million. That's how this thing works. So I got to cover my back. And so I know that doesn't make sense, but the little $5,000, I'd rather not take it. I'd rather just keep it and figure out another plan. I don't know if that's resonating with the conversation. I think you guys are great folks. I'm not digging in your pocket. Don't want you. I would rather for you to figure out another way, and I'll help you as much as I can. But the reality of it is that if I am to be, and it's not even fair to me. I don't know if you can realize what I'm saying. It's better for me to give you a bid for $40,000 and you say, no, that's too much, and then you go a different way. That's better for me, but if that's the way we can go that way, you commit to that, and then I'll get my $5,000 fee out of the $40,000. It's the way that it works. So I'm cutting to the chase. This is the discount method. This is trying to save you some money, saying, I'm going to help you, just give me some money to compensate me for the time that I'm going to have to involve myself into your project. And I'm not going to stand around every week and say, hey, can you give me a check for $300 because I had to meet the homeowner or the inspector. I'm not doing that. That's just not realistic.
Right, but you're asking us to commit to a project that we don't know if we have the funds to do yet. So you're wanting us to pay for something that we may not end up doing. That's my issue.
Well, I do understand that. So we do need to know that we're going to do the project.
And we don't know we're going to do the project until we get the financing. We can't get the financing until we remove these